What's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99 back on the fight front once again. Make sure y'all subscribe. I'm back with my post-fight thoughts and post-fight discussion video on Angela Hill versus Ariana Carnelossi. This was a good fight for Angela Hill. Shout out to Angela Hill. She was able to make a big statement in this fight. She scored a third round stoppage over Ariana Carnelossi. This wasn't like a knockout stoppage or, a stoppage where the referee had to step in because she was rocked. She actually stopped throwing cuts. She was able to land a big elbow on Ariana Carnelossi, and she opened up a big gash over her eyebrow. And that's one of the things, a lot of people, I feel like they underestimate Angela Hill striking. Just because she's not like a hard puncher, I feel like she's a very accurate striker, which is just as dangerous. Accurate striker, they know how to tenderize you and pot shot you. And until they just like open something up, they just keep working you until they either get you, break you down, or they open a cut up, and they know how to, just kind of capitalize off those little strategies, even if they're not like hard punches. And Angela Hill, she's always kind of been that type of fighter. I felt like, she's able to catch you with those jabs and those tricky overhand rights. And somebody like Carnelossi, she didn't really have good defense. She was just kind of like an on-coming fighter, really trying to get into the clinch with Angela Hill. And when she was doing this, she was just kind of setting her up for, failure. She was really trying to clinch with a Muay Thai veteran in there. And that's what kind of set her up, as far as getting broken down, to the head and to the body. But just looking back at the fight real quick, a couple of these, few of the rounds, Carnelossi, she was just storming in on Angela Hill. And like I said, she's a veteran. Every time Carnelossi would try to clinch with her, Angela Hill would just control the clinches with her knees to the body. And every time they would break, she would land that big elbow to the head. And I think it was like a second clinch too, where Carnelossi tried to clinch, and Angela Hill, she was just she got the underhooks, and she just kind of managed to outmuscle Carnelossi too, because Carnelossi is muscular. She's a pretty big lady too. She has some big guns in there, but Angela Hill was actually controlling her and actually defending well against a takedown attempt, and had Carnelossi in this awkward position with her arm behind her head, and she was just able to slip out and get back to the center of the octagon and just started striking again, jabbing and moving and landing that overhand right. And I think Carnelossi kind of underestimated the strength of Angela Hill, because she was trying to go in there and out-muscle her, and she wound up getting out-muscled. So that was another thing about Angela Hill. She's a pretty strong fighter. So I had to say that Angela Hill, she definitely won that first round, hands down. But looking at the second round, I think Carnelossi, she kind of made some adjustments, and she started to try to come back a little bit stronger. But Angela Hill was still controlling most of the round with her with those overhand rights and that jab. And again, whenever Carnelossi she tried to clinch with Angela Hill. Angela Hill just fired off some more knees to the body, and again, as they break, she hits her with that elbow. And I think in that midpoint of the round, Carnelossi, she started getting it. She tried to make that adjustment, and she tried to just walk down Angela Hill, and she started landing a few more punches. And when she started opening up at more of a distance and started timing Angela Hill, she started landing a few more of her own shots. But again, I still think that Angela Hill, her accuracy and her volume punches, it was winning her the round. But that overhand right is pretty tricky. But like I said, it doesn't pack a lot of power, but it lands very effectively, and it lands right on the money, right where Angela Hill needs it to land. And I think that's what kind of tenderized Carnelossi up for that third round stoppage. Looking at that last round, Carnelossi looked like she was trying to go in for the KO. She was coming straight in at Angela Hill, but Angela Hill was still swinging those awkward punches and stepping out to the side. And the way Angela Hill moves back, it really helps her take a lot of steam off her opponent punches. Every time Carnelossi would kind of step in with those winging hooks, Angela Hill just kind of steps back, and if it connects, she's already kind of out of the way of danger, and she takes away the steam of the punches, and she comes back with her own counter. And like I said, she's landing these big knees too, right up the middle, and she follows it up with the right hand on Carnelossi, and just kind of exhausting her. Like I said, these little shots are kind of breaking her down, because she can't land anything clean, but Angela Hill's landing all the clean shots, so it's wearing her down. And as Carnelossi comes in that midpoint, I think it's 3 minutes left in the round, she walks right into a big elbow, and Angela Hill lands that clean right on the brow, and it opens up a nasty gash on over Carnelossi's left eyebrow. And right then, when they get back to the center of the octagon, the referee, he stops for a second, lets the doctor look at it, and when he sees that blood pouring, he goes, he waves it off. And overall, I have to say that was pretty fair. it was fair to stop the fight because, I mean, it sucks for Carnelossi, but a few more minutes left in the round, that's all it takes for some more serious damage to happen. That's how I feel. And, when you start to see blood pour like that, Angela Hill still had enough time to work and maybe, do more damage. So I think it was the right call on his part. Like I said, for somebody like Carnelossi, for that type of stuff not to happen, if you don't want cuts to happen like that, you got to move your head more and you got to have better defense, So stuff like that happens in fights. But overall, it was a good fight for Angela Hill. Definitely a fair stoppage, in my opinion. From here, like I said, it was a big statement for Angela Hill to stop somebody, especially, in these recent years, she just came back to the UFC, win some, lost some. To get her back into the thick of things, she's definitely going to need a couple more solid fights. And one of the fights I want to look forward to, or I'd like to see, is her fight Carla Esparza next. Spoiler warning, because I haven't done my post-fight review on this fight. But Carla Esparza, she beat Alexa Grasso. And Carla Esparza versus Angela Hill is a fight that I would like to see. They actually haven't fought since the Tough House, which was a exhibition fight. I think Carla Esparza stopped her in like the first round by first round submission like 4 or 5 years ago in that Tough show. And yeah, I would actually like to see them on an official card, Angela Hill versus Carla Esparza, because Carla Esparza, she's came far as a fighter. I think she's getting better and better, which is crazy. As she gets older, she's actually evolving into a more complete fighter. Angela Hill, I think she's definitely gotten better. She's won some and lost some, and, she's getting a little bit more disciplined. So I would like to see them two in the octagon again, as an official fight on a main card or whatever, a prelims card or not. But yeah, definitely like to see them fight next. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you guys think. But yeah, I'll be back with my Ariana and Vanessa Melo post-fight video. Make sure y'all subscribe. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Peace.